I'm trying to tell y'all, don't worry about what people say about you. They're going to try to belittle you. They're going to try to satellite your name. They're going to try to sabotage you. They're going to just try to do anything they're trying to do to destroy you.
What is going on, kings and queens? It's your girl, Wisdom's daughter. Welcome back to the channel. Y'all, I was not going live tonight. I wasn't going to go live. It was too many people on for hours and hours and hours. I wasn't going to go. But then I started reading Diddy's Dear Judge letter. Y'all, we're going to talk about it. We're going to get into all of the shenanigans. I know it's late. It's about 10 o'clock. I promise you we're not going to be here long. But I definitely want to give y'all my reaction to this foolishness because I'm telling y'all right now. Yeah, Diddy is desperate. Your boy is desperate. Not only is he desperate, I think Diddy is scared like hell. Okay. I think Diddy had an moment. Okay. He said, "Oh, shucky ducky. I might really be going to jail for real. Listen, Diddy tried to get a pardon from Trump. We're gonna talk about that. That didn't work. He offered up $50 million. That didn't work. He offered up his house, his mama house. That didn't work. Everybody's passport. He offered up the 2 jets. I think it was 2 jets. That didn't work. Diddy has been trying everything to get out of jail, and we are going to talk about all that and more. Go ahead and hit the like button as the intro plays, baby. All right, so our topic tonight is now Diddy is sorry, but is it too late? Let's go ahead and greet the Wisdom family. Those first up in the building. Nubian Queen was here first. Queen said, "Hello, WD mods." Nubian kings and queens. Diddy won't sleep tonight. He sure won't. Listen, Diddy gonna be turning and tossing. He probably gonna be taking a nervous shit. Okay. You ever been so nervous that literally like you almost had an accident on yourself? Listen. Ain't nothing like a nervous poop. But anyway, I am Mrs. BB is in the building. She said, "Good evening, WD and everyone's. This is Diddy's reality. He is going to reap what he sowed." Okay, now can we get some snaps for that? Deborah Person is in the building. Kia Elder is here. Kia, thank you so much for being on and available to mod. Hope you're doing well this fine evening. And we have been keeping you in prayer, my sister, my queen. Nesto Shackle Shuffle Walker Shames in the building. And happy Thursday, Wisdom's daughter and family. What's going on, queen? Thank you so much for being here. And yes, I will be attending Sylvia and Dana's trial on tomorrow. So I will be up in the building. I will be taking some notes. Okay, notes on notes. And I will let you guys know what had happened was. He definitely tried everything. Shaking my head. Listen, I want to know if y'all think it's too late for Diddy. Diddy done told his legal team, "Get me a pardon." Okay, we're gonna hear what happened with that. We're gonna hear what happened was. But this is what I want to do first before we get into the what had happened was. Let me go ahead and do this. I'm gonna put up a poll really quickly, and then what I'm gonna do is there's a video that we're gonna listen to because this video really sums up everything that's been going on with Diddy trying his damnness. Diddy really thought that he could get whatever he wanted. Okay, he really thought. So the question is simple: is it too late for Diddy? Okay, is it too late? Okay, is it too late for Diddy to go free? Let's do that. Is it too late for Diddy to go free? Yeah. Your boy is really shooting a brick right now. I would not trade places with him. What's going on? June's Poetry is in the building. Diddy is a day late and a dollar short. Okay. How about he waits until the night before to write a letter? But he's not the only one who wrote a letter. Okay. Victim number 3, his ex-girlfriend, the one that went on Tasha K and talked about how she got stomped in the face and a baby stomped out of her, and he forced her to have not 1 but 2 baby vacates. Okay. He forced her to terminate 2 pregnancies. And yeah, why is she still capping for him? Why is she still capping for him? She wrote a letter. We're gonna get to her letter as well. She wrote a letter. This woman did a whole 180. She went from yes, this is what happened to me. I want to use my own name, yada yada yada, and totally flipped the script, y'all. And I'm trying to figure out why. We're gonna talk about it later. But first, let's get into this video. This is a very interesting one. And you guys drop your comments down as we watch and listen.
Diddy's final chance to avoid prison is collapsing. Trump has confirmed he will not grant a pardon. A $50 million bail request has also been rejected. With sentencing 1 month away, Diddy faces life in prison. The question remains, what did he say to Trump that led to the refusal? And does any path out remain?
Combs,
right.
would you consider pardoning him?
Well, he was essentially, I guess, sort of half innocent.
Yes.
I don't know what they did.
Half
Still in jail or something, but.
Yeah.
He was celebrating a victory, but he seems, I guess it wasn't as good as a victory. Probably, you know, I was very friendly with him. I got along with him great, and seemed like a nice guy. I didn't know him well. But when I ran for office, he was very hostile.
He said some not so nice things about you,
Yeah,
sir.
and
Yes.
it's hard, you know, like you, we're human beings.
Right.
And we don't like to have things cloud our judgment, right? But when you knew someone and you were fine, and then you run for office and he made some terrible statements. So I don't know, it's more difficult. It makes it more, I'm being honest, it makes it more difficult to do.
But
From one liar to another liar. Look here, let me just pause here for just 1 second. Didn't Trump just say he didn't know this man well? Now he's saying you know somebody and they're supporting, you know, you're cool with them. And then when you go to vote for president, so basically Diddy said some stuff we're going to hear about it later, but he said some stuff about Donald Trump. One thing about Donald Trump is you have to swear fealty to him. He's all about loyalty. Okay. So ain't no way in hell he was going to pardon Diddy after the stuff that Diddy said. Okay. He ain't going to come out and say that, but that's a no-go. Okay. Diddy, baby, you going to have to try again. That one, it ain't gonna. Okay, that ship is sailed. Diddy is in his jail cell right now. Okay. That's Diddy right about now. But anyway, so Trump is petty. Okay, Donald Trump is as petty as 50 Cent, who contacted Donald Trump and said, "Look here." They probably gonna reach out and try to ask you for a pardon, but let me let you know what he was saying about you when you ran for president. Anyway, let's continue.
more likely a no for Combs,
I
it
would
sounds
say
like.
so,
Okay.
CNN confirmed weeks ago that Diddy's lawyers were in direct talks with the Trump administration about a possible pardon. Despite repeated denials, the White House confirmed the discussions, forcing Diddy's legal team to acknowledge them. Attorney Mark Agnifilo admitted that Diddy instructed him to approach Trump and say, "I need a pardon."
Senior White House official declined to comment on, quote, speculation and told us any decision on pardons would come from the president himself. Combs' attorney, Mark Agnifilo, said he has not talked to the Trump administration about it. You mean to tell me that you really have nothing to do with a possible pardon right now?
Nothing. I have nothing to do with a possible pardon.
What is Sean Combs saying about the possibility of a pardon?
I think he knows I'm not political. We've never discussed it other than I tell him what's in the news about it. But you know.
And what's his reaction? Does he laugh? Does he say, let's look into it? What does he say?
Go tell him that I need a pardon. Go tell him I deserve a pardon. That's what he said.
How are you prepared?
Wow. So you see how Diddy talks to his legal team? Yo, go give me a pardon. Go tell him I need a pardon. Like, get on your job. When I tell you the parallels between Ernest Williams and Sean Combs is crazy. But anyway, I know his lawyer is so damn glad that this trial is over. I bet you Mark Agnifilo is praying. Okay, well, he probably knows at this point because any request for a new trial has been denied. Okay, any request for a vacated sentence has also been denied. So that's why Diddy sent this letter. Okay, because he's reality is starting to set in a little bit. I got a question for y'all, and we're gonna poll it in a little while. My question is in regards to Diddy in prison. So I'm gonna let this play for a little while, and then I'm gonna put up another poll because I'm wondering Diddy is supposed to be so hard. What is he so afraid of? But anyway, we'll come back to that.
Hearing him.
So, I mean, I tell him what the guidelines are, you know, and the guidelines are about 2 or 3 years. And I tell him, you know, the judge could go above the guidelines.
Do you have any regrets in how you tried this case?
That's a good question.
It's a good question. Not really. Not really.
You called the relationship between Combs and Ventura a great modern love story. Ventura said she was raped, physically abused, and became addicted to drugs because of Combs.
I think that's what makes it, we vehemently deny. And I know, I respect that she said that. I don't think the jury concluded that that happened. In terms of the, you know, the drugs and the other stuff, I think that's what makes it a modern love story. I think she very much loved him, and I know he very much loved her.
Cassie Ventura's attorney told us that Agnifalo's description of the relationship is a, quote, complete disgrace and affront to survivors of domestic violence.
In a press interview, Trump acknowledged he and Diddy had once been friends and said he would consider a pardon. More recently, Trump commented that Diddy was half innocent, framing it as a partial win, but not the full vindication Diddy wanted.
Diddy was a good friend of yours back then. He has since found himself in some very serious legal trouble.
Yeah, that's true.
Would you ever consider pardoning him?
Well, nobody's asked. You had to be the one to ask, Peter, but nobody's asked. But I know people are thinking about it. I know they're thinking about it. I think some people have been very close to asking. First of all, I'd look at what's happening, and I haven't been watching it too closely, although it's certainly getting a lot of coverage. I haven't.
The only way Donald Trump was going to pardon this black man is if he bent over and kissed Donald Trump's ass. I'm sorry. And Diddy been plucked up. So that one never gonna work. Okay. Did he really think that after he done talk crap about the man, he was gonna get a pardon? Bruh.
I've seen him. I haven't spoken to him in years. He used to really like me a lot, but I think when I ran for politics, he sort of, that relationship busted up from what I read. I don't know. He didn't tell me that, but I'd read some little bit nasty statements in the paper all of a sudden. You know, it's different. You become a much different person when you run for politics and you do what's right. I could do other things, and I'm sure he'd like me, and I'm sure other people would like me, but it wouldn't be as good for our country. As we said, our country's doing really well because of what we're doing. So it's not a popularity contest. So I don't know. I would certainly look at the facts. If I think somebody was mistreated, whether they like me or don't like me, it wouldn't have any impact on me.
Now, the final thing I want to say is this. You know, I asked Joe Tacopina, you know, what about Trump's comment? What does it do to the jury? And he thought it was a nightmare for Diddy that Donald Trump said this. And the reason he thinks that is when the jury goes into deliberations, they could end up saying, look, I mean, you know, even if we convict him, because we kind of think he's guilty, we're not sure he's guilty, but if we find him guilty, he's probably going to get pardoned because Trump kind of sent that message.
For years, those close to Diddy have speculated about a presidential pardon. Suge Knight claimed Diddy acted as a federal informant and expected protection from prosecution. Authorities knew his activities, yet indictments never came. Confident in that shield, Diddy spoke openly about his crimes, believing he was untouchable.
Do you think he's going to be all right because someone's going to tamper with the jury? Is that what you're trying to say?
He got enough influence, and I'm quite sure, don't seem like the prosecution is that bad against him. Don't seem like I think he got some favors with the government. I think they're going to show him a little leeway. It might not seem like it when it's all said and done, but I don't think he has nothing to worry about. I don't think he's worried because he's going to be federal. And if he get convicted, Trump's going to pardon him. So what's the worry?
You think the President of the United States would pardon Sean Combs for trafficking?
Shit, he pardoned Michael Harris, who eventually killed a Jewish teenager, or had him. So they don't care about that. It's all about, what's in it for the long run and what the bucks say and what the power of the people want.
How does it go on for so long? You know, when we were on the street, we didn't get a day's rest. I mean, the government was all over us. The FBI is all over us. They got investigations on us. They got informants. They got surveillance equipment.
He was not cutting you off, but he was an informant for years.
Was he really?
Did y'all know that? Did y'all know that Diddy was an informant? Did anybody know that he was an informant? And that's why he kind of felt, now I'm going based on what Suge Knight said, all right? I had heard rumors, but I'm going up by what Suge Knight said. But did anybody hear that he was an informant? And assuming that that's true, is that why he kind of felt like, you know, he got the police in his pocket? Because you do have people like that who feel like, oh, no, I'm working with the police. I'm working, you know, I'm working with the feds. You know what I'm saying? Y'all let me know in the comments.
Yeah, that's why when people was like, oh, you're going to run, oh, he's not. It's the reason why these type of people get caught up. They always been telling they're bigger than the law because they part of the law, you know? And as you know, all these people get tired of their rats sooner or later.
Things have turned against Diddy. Trump has shown he may forgive but does not forget. During Trump's campaign, Diddy attacked him publicly and even launched his own political party. In a recent interview, Trump stated that Diddy's past remarks make granting a pardon highly unlikely.
Got too serious of a point. And seeing what's going on, white men like Trump need to be banished. That way of thinking, it's real dangerous. This man literally threatened the lives of us and our families about going to vote.
So Donald Trump threatened the lives of people and their families. Did he not do the same thing? Maybe not on as large of a scale, but did he not threaten some people and their families? He must have forgot about that part. He got a little bit amnesia.
Stand back and stand by. Stand back and stand by. Yeah. We're in a war. We're not taking this like it's a war. We taking this like, oh, we're in a presidential election. No, we're in a war of love versus hate. The number one priority is to get Trump out of office. The tribe,
and that's why he didn't get a pardon.
The people that have the responsibility and really should be scared to death of this man is white people. Explain. If this man is elected, we're not standing by no more getting killed. We're not scared of anybody standing up and standing by. We're on the verge of a race war.
The biggest factor in Trump's shift against Diddy appears to be 50 Cent. As soon as talk of a pardon surfaced, 50 began posting clips of Diddy's anti-Trump campaign, reminding Trump of the attacks. He even tweeted, "See, Trump don't like stuff like this, buddy. You run your mouth too much."
White men like Trump need to be banished. Trump gets elected, I really do believe in my heart there'll be a race war. That's why this message is not just to black people. You know what I'm saying? This message is to everybody. You know, this man is really trying to turn us against each other and put us in a situation. America messed up.
So Diddy was running his mouth, and that's why he didn't get his pardon. Well. White men like Trump should be banished. And I'm like, listen, I'm not saying I don't agree, but he put a lot of stuff out there. So here's what 50 did. This is what 50 Cent did.
He swore in another video on Revolt, he says white men like Trump need to be banished. And by the way, you know who's not letting anyone forget this? Combs' rival 50 Cent. Took to social media recently, wrote, "See, Trump don't like S like this, buddy. You run your mouth too much. And Donald doesn't take well to disrespect and doesn't forget who chooses to go against him. While working tirelessly to make America great again, there is no room for distraction. He would consider pardoning anyone who is being mistreated, not Puff Daddy." And let me
listen, 50 Cent is petty. Petty.
Saying Trump would never pardon Diddy. Their friendship was over and Trump had no interest in facing the backlash of protecting someone with Diddy's reputation. Those close to Trump said he felt disrespected and had no intention of risking himself for someone who had openly tried to humiliate him.
People that feel like Trump, he might pardon Diddy. First of all, he got to be charged and be in prison to be pardoned. You got to realize that the feds could take this case for 2, 3, maybe 4 years, and Trump will be out of office, You don't know how long the feds is gonna go on with this. You understand what I'm saying? You hear people talking crazy talk, well, they ain't got nothing because, man, I've seen the dude set behind bars for 2 years before he had his trial with the feds. And by the time a pardon come in, another year will come by. So that's just a whole lot of propaganda. Puck wasn't even fucking with Trump like that no more. He was going against Donald Trump. Donald Trump is petty as 50 Cent. Do you understand that? You see how petty 50 is? Donald Trump is just as petty as 50, bro.
That's a fact. Let me get to some of y'all comments real quick. Y'all have a good question. Yes, Diddy definitely spoke the truth a moment ago. You know, too bad that side of Diddy didn't dominate, you know, because Diddy had a lot of influence. And in a way, he kind of still does. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know if the money got to him. I don't know if it really was the drugs and alcohol. But, you know, it definitely awoken some demons inside him. But too bad that Diddy was not the whole Diddy, right? Too bad it was all that other stuff. A cut above Lady T said, Diddy is going to do time. He is not going to do R. Kelly time, in my opinion. Right. And matter of fact, speaking of that, let's go to the poll and see. So the question was, is it too late for Diddy to go free? 10% of y'all said no, it's not too late. 90% of y'all said yes, it is too late. He is going to do some time. So earlier today, I did a poll asking you guys to predict how much time you thought Diddy was going to get. Let me just look at the results of that poll from earlier today. I won't be able to show it, but it's on the community wall if you want to see it. All right, so 44 people voted. Question was, Diddy is set to be sentenced tomorrow. How much time do you predict he will get? So 39% of y'all said less than 5 years. Wow, 39% of y'all have no faith in our justice system. I don't blame you. 30% said 5 to 10 years with probation. 25% said he'll get the 11 years plus the time served, which means he'll end up doing about 10 years. And 7%, so 7% of y'all think he might actually get 50 to 20 years. And I know the prosecution is trying to seek the absolute max. So yeah, I'm going to take down this poll and we're going to put up another poll. So if you guys haven't had a chance to vote, go ahead and put your votes in really quickly before I take down the poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. So here's the next poll question, and I'm going to leave this one up for a little while. Why is Diddy so afraid of going to prison? Right? Diddy is clearly terrified of going to prison, right? So I'm gonna put some funny answers on there, but you guys let me know. I'm gonna put a couple of different responses and let me know why you think he's afraid. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so I only did 3 options. All right. So why is Diddy so afraid of going to prison? No baby oil in prison. His enemies might take his life. Or is he afraid he might get gangbanged? Okay. Y'all let me know. Why is he really afraid? Because when I tell you this letter was so desperate, and speaking of this letter, we're going to pause this video for a second. We will we'll come back to the letter. Gene Deal had some more things to say that was really interesting. So we'll come back to the video. We'll come back to the video. Let's jump to this letter for just a moment. And we'll come back to. Let's get into this this Diddy letter. And I'm gonna break this just like I always do. I'm gonna break this down. Now I know there's been 1,000 people who have gone live already, but they're not listening to it. So if you've already heard it, you're gonna hear it again, but you're gonna hear it from my perspective. All right, so let me get this up and let's see. We got it on the screen. Yep, we do. Hold on, a little bit bigger. And yeah, this is the right letter. Okay, definitely the right letter. Let's see if I can move it. All right. Yeah. Diddy is going to poor Tink Tink. I mean, this man, he listen, he was giving it his all. He really was giving it. He really was giving his all. Can I? There we go. That's what I wanted to. Okay. So, dear Judge Subramanian, and there are people saying that he did not write this. I hope this letter finds you well and in good health and spirits. Thank you for the opportunity to express my thoughts to you the night before I'm going to be sentenced and I'm going to kiss my ass goodbye. First and foremost, I want to apologize and say how sincerely sorry I am, because now that I know I may not be getting out. Now I'm sorry. I'm sorry for all the hurt and pain that I have caused others by my conduct. I take full responsibility and accountability for my past wrongs. Oh, really? This is what I'm going to do. I can make this available for you guys, if those of you who might want it, but this is what I'm going to do. All right? We're going to put this up while I read this. This is what I'm going to do. All right, so Diddy says, he says, I'm so sorry for all the hurt and pain that I caused others by my conduct. I take full responsibility and accountability for my past wrongs. This has been the hardest 2 years of my life. For real? The hardest 2 years of your life? I'm so glad Diddy is taking full responsibility and accountability for his past wrongs, because if I was the judge, you will be taking responsibility and accountability for 20 years, bro. But anyway, he says, I have no one to blame for my current reality and situation but myself. In my life, I have made many mistakes. I am no longer running from them. I am so sorry for the hurt that I caused, but I understand that the mere words, I'm sorry, will never be good enough, as these words alone cannot erase the pain from the past. Over the past 13 months, I had to look in the mirror like never before. My pain became my teacher. My sadness was my motivator. I have to admit, my downfall was rooted in my selfishness. The scene and images of me assaulting Cassie playing over and over and over. All right? He says, they play in my head daily. I literally lost my mind. I was dead wrong for putting my hands on the woman that I loved. I'm sorry for that and always will be. My domestic violence will always be a heavy burden that I will have to forever carry. The remorse, the sorrow, the regret, the disappointment, the shame. I honestly feel sorry for something that I couldn't forgive someone else for if they put their hands on one of my daughters. This is why it's so hard for me to forgive myself. It's like a deep wound that leaves an ugly scar. Your Honor, because now he over here like Biggie. Your Honor, give me one more chance. Your Honor, give me one more chance. All I need is one more chance. One more chance. One more chance. Your Honor, give me one more chance. Okay, listen. Diddy is over there doing the most, okay? I swear he's over there doing the most. Talking about, I take full responsibility. I beg of you, have mercy, please. I once was blind, but now I see. Your Honor, please don't sentence me. All right. Oh my God. Anyway, because Diddy taught some classes and he's been redeemed, y'all. He's been redeemed. Your Honor, please don't sentence me. Let me see my family. One more chance. All right, let me stop clowning. Anyway, you better run that on. Save that for Biggie, okay? Oh, but wait a minute. Rumor has it that you took him out. But anyway, that's a legend. So let's keep going. So the past 13 months, he done looked in the mirror like never before. Okay? He can't even forgive himself because he wouldn't forgive somebody else for putting their hands on one of his daughters. Too bad he didn't think about that while he was beating the brakes off of Cassie Ventura. Your Honor, I thought I was providing for Jane concerning her and her child, but after hearing her testimony, I realized that I hurt her. For this, I am deeply sorry. Interesting. You know what's missing from this letter? I groomed Jane. I lorded it over her that I was paying her rent and bills. Okay, I threatened to take them things away from her and from Cassie and from Gina if I didn't get my way. That's what's missing. But anyway, he said, I lost my way. I got lost in my journey, lost in the drugs and the excess. My downfall was rooted in my selfishness. Bro, you said that already. I have been humbled and broken to my core. Jail is designed to break you mentally, physically, and spiritually. Over the past year, there have been so many times I wanted to give up. There have been some days I thought I would be better off dead. The old me died in jail in these 13 months. 13 months I've been in jail. The old me done died, and a new version of me was reborn. Prison will change you or kill you. I choose to live. Every day since my incarceration, as difficult as my circumstances currently are, I have made the best of my time by reading books, writing, working out, and in therapy, obtaining the tools and knowledge to deal with my past drug abuse and anger issues. I have been putting in the work and working diligently to become the best version of myself to ensure that I never make the same mistakes again. I realize that I'm in a situation where no amount of money, now he realizes that no amount of money, power, or fame can save him. He didn't realize that when he was offering the 50 million and the planes and the passports and the houses. Okay? I believe he would have offered up a BJ if that would have got him out of jail. He said, only God can save me. That's right. Okay? And deliverance comes in many forms. Deliverance doesn't always equate to freedom. Anyway, my grandmother used to teach me that God makes no mistakes and that everything he does is for your good. Right. Like keeping your lying, gaslighting, not taking responsibility, graping, sodomizing, abusing, drug addict ass behind bars where you need to be until you are really redeemed. Okay? Anyway, so he said, I believe that that everything God does, he does for your good. I believe that a bad situation can be used for good. Although this situation has been the hardest and darkest time in my life, good things have come out of my incarceration. For starters, I am now sober for the first time in 25 years. Wait a minute. On October 2nd, now you sober? You've been in jail for 13 years. 13 months. 13 months. 1 year and 1 month you've been in jail. You sober because you behind bars. That's all. That's all. You don't have access to baby oil. You don't have access to ecstasy. You don't have access to Molly. You don't have access to Percocet. Molly Percocet. You don't got access to none of that. So yeah, you sober. I've been trying my best to deal with my drug abuse and anger issues and take accountability as well as positive steps toward healing. One of the most beautiful things I've experienced is being asked by my fellow inmates to teach them and mentor them. Okay? Because I taught a class and I've been redeemed. I once was blind, but now I see. Your Honor, please don't sentence me. I lost my way, and I'm so sorry. Anyway, so he said the most beautiful thing is that I've been asked by fellow inmates to teach and mentor them. They wanted to learn what I did to become a successful businessman. Oh, they want to learn how you got bent over and how you bent others over. That's what they want to learn. They want to learn how you lied, cheated, stole. They want to learn how you pow-powed and got rid of some people. Okay, I was inspired by their hunger and desire to learn information in order to not only set goals, but achieve any goal or dream that their hearts desire. I started teaching a 6-week program called Free Game title given by my fellow inmates. Free Game by Diddy, which I was able to have approved and sanctioned by the BOP, the Bureau of Prisons. I don't just teach about my success, I also teach about my mistakes and failures. Well, it would have been nice, Diddy, if you would have put some of those mistakes and failures up in here, right? Don't just tell me you made mistakes. What was the mistake? Don't just tell me you failed and you had some failures. What did you fail at? What exactly did you do? He still ain't said it yet, y'all. Well, we still got 2 more pages, so let's see. It has been truly a blessing to do something positive in a negative situation. It's been beautiful to see the newfound hope in my fellow inmates' eyes. The most shocking thing was to see the unity and the peace this class has produced. And as you are probably aware, jails and prisons are segregated places. However, in our class, we have Black, Spanish, white, and Asian. But the interesting thing is only the Spanish people wrote letters on my behalf to you telling you about this class. But anyway, and the Black and Spanish and the whites and the Asians all together in one room, learning and working together. We even have an interpreter for the Spanish people, okay? Because no picky English, okay? Picky panties, we got interpreted because we got a few people that picky panties, okay? For the Spanish-speaking inmates. The biggest miracle that I've seen with this class is all of the gangs like the Bloods and the Crips, MS-13s, and the Trinitarios and the 18th Streets. Okay, ain't no Nietas in there. Where are Nietas? Where the Latin Kings at? Hold up. Anyway, I digress. In one room working together. I am also proud to say that since this class started, there have been no fights in our unit. None at all. No fights. This class has also helped me in my time of need and despair. Being able to do something good for others has also given me much needed hope. God blessed me with this opportunity to help others, and I will continue to do so. Oh, by the way, I got a class booked for next week in Miami. Because I just knew I was getting out. I ask you today I ask you mercy. I ask you for mercy today, not only for my sake, but for the sake of my children. I got children, Your Honor. I got Quincy, Justin. I got Christian, Chance. I got 2 twins, Jesse and Delilah. And I got a 2-year-old daughter named Love. Okay. And I got a white girl that I adopted somewhere out there running them streets. And I can't even remember her name right now because for some reason I can't never remember her damn name. But anyway, but she out there, you know. God blessed me with 7 beautiful children, 3 sons and 4 daughters, and plus the white girl. That I probably trafficked away from her parents, allegedly. But we ain't seen her, and we don't know what happened to her. Just like we don't know really what happened to the mother of my 4 children, Kim Porter, because she tragically passed away in 2018 from some kind of weird flu respiratory disease. She was fine one day and dead 2 days later. Lord have mercy. I am their only parent. Wait a minute. Chrissy is grown. Justin grown. Christian is grown. Chance is grown. Jesse and Delilah, is it Delilah? Delia? Whatever the hell her name is. Delia, she grown. The only one is 2-year-old Love. Okay? And she's probably with her mama. But anyway, I have failed my children as a father. Okay, there's some accountability. My father was unalive when I was 3 years old. Here we go. So I know firsthand what it is not to have a father. More than anything, I just want the opportunity to return home and be the father that they need and deserve. Because when I wasn't in jail and every opportunity that I had to be that, I was busy whooping asses. I was busy throwing women up against bed frames and busting their eye. I was busy dragging women down the street. Okay? That's what I was doing. I was busy making them do freak offs. God also blessed me with the greatest mother in the world. The same mother that I be hooked up to IV poles to. Okay? I be hooked up to the IV doing, after the freak off, because we were doing a lot of stuff. We were doing a lot of Molly and Percocets and Tylenols and acetamin. Hold on now. Let me see how I'm supposed to say this now. Tylenol. Okay. Doing all type of stuff. So we got to be on IVs. So I'll be on IVs with my mama. Okay. She the greatest one in the world. Do you know that my mama can still bend over and palm the ground? I know these young chicken heads. One of them named Young Miami. She can't even do that. My mama flexible. And she's single, by the way, Judge. You know, if you're looking, I know you like 40-something years old, but, you know, she available. Anyway, my mother sacrificed her life in her dreams to provide for me and my younger sister, Keisha, who I don't think wrote a letter on my behalf because she know the real me. And she don't think I should get out. She worked, meaning my mama. My mama worked 3 jobs to make sure we had a roof over our head. My mama was a teacher. I think she was a teacher, or maybe Wisdom's daughter made that up. But she had a modeling agency, but it wasn't really one of those modeling agencies. She would have these naked parties. That's where I got the idea for the white parties. That she would have the naked parties and have the girls in the different rooms, and you know they would walk around, you know, with their tiggle bitties out. And they would talk to the men's, and that's how she made her money. They would pay to come to the party, and they could get a woman and, you know, do what they wanted to do. And if they like men like me, then, you know, she provided as well. Okay. She had an agency. So when the men needed to go on dates, you know, Judge, I don't know if you got a girlfriend or not, but, you know, we could get you one. And I'll even cut you a deal. She worked 3 jobs, including being a madam, clothes on our backs, and the best education. Because, Judge, I went to private school, and I think it was at that private school is where my tendencies for liking men came from. Because I don't know, you know, I wanted to be an altar boy and them priest boy. That altar boy program was something else. You know, I had to do all types of things, and my butt hurt. My mother is now 84 years old, but she could still palm the ground. Don't get me wrong. And she recently had brain surgery. Despite her own health challenges, she attended my trial every day. I have always been her primary caregiver. It breaks my heart that I put myself in this situation. And for the first time today, the night before you're going to sentence my ass, I am unable to be there for my mama when she needs me the most. As I write you this letter, I am scared to death. I'm going to pause right there. Let's check on this poll. So, why is Diddy so afraid to go into prison? 14% of y'all said because there ain't going to be no baby oil. Several percent said he's afraid he might get gangbanged. And 79% said his enemies might take his life. I have to agree with y'all. Every last one of y'all. As I write this letter, I'm scared to death. I'm scared to spend another second away from my mother and my children. I no longer care about the money and the fame. Oh, y'all. Wait a minute. Did y'all hear this? Diddy say he don't care about the money no more. He just want out. He don't care about the money or the fame no more. There is nothing more important to me than family now. Now, all of a sudden, y'all. Y'all, this something else. All of a sudden, on the night before he going to be sentenced, he don't care about money or fame because it ain't worked anyhow. I understand that one factor the court has to consider is deterrence. Deterrence for me and for others to ensure that no one follows in my footsteps. That no one follows in my footsteps. Okay? So it's getting real. It's getting really real, y'all. Okay? Getting really real. But look here. For over a year, I have been locked in one room with 25 other incarcerated people sharing the same one room, just like Ernest Williams, aka Nasty Nesta. Okay? And Judge, I don't know, but I kind of feel like I kind of feel like yeah, you know what I'm saying? But in this room that I share, there are no windows, Judge. There's no clean air, no natural air. There's no sunlight, and we all live in one room. You know, And if it was a freak off and them 25 men was gangbanging Cassie back to back to back or Jane, it would have been cool. But it ain't cool. Because we eat, sleep, use the toilet, take showers, and prepare meals all in the same room. Ugh. The conditions that my actions have placed me in are inhumane. I'm not telling you this for pity or nothing. I'm simply sharing my truth and the truth of my fellow incarcerated people. Oh, so now he's talking on behalf of his incarcerated people. We have no clean drinking water, and we boil our drinking water. Well, you should have thought about that before you did what you did. We all share one washing machine, which is broken. So we ain't sharing the washing machine, it's broke. I'm surrounded by rugs, and I live every day with the constant threat of being stabbed or losing my life. So those of y'all who said that he's scared of losing his life, well, he done said it. Again, I'm not expecting pity or sympathy, but my time at MDC has changed me forever. Prior to being in jail, I took care of and was present for my family, okay? And had my family gotten rid of the pizza boxes and all the plastic like I told him to, you know what I'm saying? I probably wouldn't be here because he was supposed to get rid of everything. He left it. You know what I'm saying? And I came to New York to turn myself in, but I was going to have one more freak off because I knew I was going to be in there for a hot minute. But Judge, I was going to turn myself in. Y'all ain't have to come get me like that, Judge. Y'all ain't have to come get me like that. You know, got my Astro Glide all out there for everybody to see. My stripper heels, you know, because I don't want nobody to know that when Cassie ain't around, I'll be wearing them and putting them on. You know, anyway. But my time at MDC changed me forever. Prior to being in jail, I took care of and was present for my family. Being in jail and because of my conduct, I lost the ability to care for my mother. You know what I'm saying? Like, who gonna hook her up to the IV if not me? Who gonna set up her IV drips if not me? You know what I'm saying? She out there doing her own freak offs and ain't got nobody to hook her up to the IV drip. Okay? So she could, you know, sober up for another 72 hours of freaking off. I lost the ability to effectively raise and support my children. I missed my 3 daughters' proms and graduate. Wait, what? His 3 daughters' proms. How many daughters he got? Oh, okay. Well, he said he got 4. So wait a minute. There's Jesse, Delia, and Love. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is Chance a girl? Anyway, I thought Chance was a boy, but apparently Chance is one of his daughters. Okay, so he missed 3 proms. That's your fault. Okay, I missed taking one of my daughters to college. I have lost the freedom to teach my 2-year-old how to speak, dance, play. Okay, because her mama, you know, is not capable of doing any of those things. I'm the only one that can teach her how to speak, dance, and play, and be there to console her when she falls down or has a nightmare. I started from nothing and worked hard to earn everything I had. But because of my conduct, I lost all of my businesses. I lost my career. I lost the charter schools that I started, and I have destroyed my reputation and stained the reputation of those that work for me. I lost my being present with my family. Because of all my losses and lessons, I can state for a fact that I will never be in another criminal courtroom again. And I do not believe any other person would do anything similar from fear of similar punishment. Okay, you know what? Diddy, you needed to leave that part out. Because, see, I was with you up to that point. He said that he could state for a fact that I will never be in another criminal courtroom, and I do not believe any other person would do anything similar from fear of similar punishment. So Diddy has single-handedly, if the judge let him out, he has single-handedly cured the world from trafficking. Because ain't nobody going to traffic nobody again. Prostitution is over. Ain't nobody gonna get no more escorts. Okay, the adult entertainment industry is over and done. Okay, bankrupt. Okay, because for fear of a similar punishment, ain't nobody gonna do what I did ever again. So it's safe to let me out. if you give me a chance. Please, Your Honor, give me one more chance. Your Honor, give me one more chance. I would like the opportunity to share my story with people to prevent at least one person from making the mistakes that I made. I can't change. Diddy, you can do that from behind bars, okay? You can do. They have a program, okay? They have a program where they bring the kids to the jail and they lock them in and you get to talk to them. I can't change the past, but I can change the future. I know that God put me here to transform me. Since incarceration, I have gone through a spiritual reset. I'm on a journey that will take time and hard work. I'm on a journey. I'm on a journey that will take time and hard work. I'm proud to say I'm working harder than I ever have before. Cause I don't want to be behind bars. So I'm gonna say whatever I got to say, and hopefully you let me out. Because Diddy is the king of gaslighting. And this whole letter is a gaslight. I'm committed to the journey of remaining a rug-free, non-violent, and peaceful person. I thank God that I'm stronger, wiser, cleaner. I'm wiser, stronger. Okay, you know what? We gonna. I can say, I can't even do it. Fred Hamilton, I can't do it. Anyway, Diddy said, never would have made it. Never could have made it without you, Judge. Letting me out, vacating my sentence. I would have lost it all. But now I see you were there for me. I'm wiser. I can't do it, y'all. Sorry. Anyway, God makes no mistakes. I realize that this trial has received a tremendous amount of global press, and Your Honor may be inclined to make an example out of me. I would ask Your Honor to make me an example of what a person can do if afforded a second chance, if you allow me to go home to my family. I promise I will not let you down. I will make you proud, Your Honor. I will. This is my face after this letter. But anyway, he ain't done. Not yet. Diddy laid it on thick. I promise I will not let you down. I'm going to make you proud. Right? Because I'm like, Justin, I'm going to get rid of all the pizza boxes and all the plastic. Today, I humbly ask you for another chance. Another chance to be a better father. Another chance to be a better son. Another chance to be a better leader in my community. Another chance to live a better life. I'm writing this not to gain any sympathy or pity. This experience is simply the truth of my existence and has changed my life forever. And I will never commit a crime again. And maybe Diddy did write this because he forgot some punctuation right here. We missing something. But anyway, thank you for your time and consideration, Sean Combs. Your Honor, give me one more chance. 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 You know what? I know I'm clowning right now, but Diddy was serious, okay? He said, look, I've been in here 13 months. I've been redeemed. What's going on? Sensible Creation Sisters in the building. What happened to Can't Stop, Won't Stop? That is what we believe, okay? Callie Bell says, sing it, wisdom. He has lost his mind and dignity. Diddy is desperate. This is what desperation looks like. This is a desperation letter. Okay, I feel that karma has come for Diddy for powering that lady, for powering that lady, or okay, I got you. I understand what you're saying. For punching that lady in the face and having someone do the time for, or powering. I'm so sorry, y'all, for powering that lady in the face and having somebody else do time for yet a different power. Yeah, you're talking about the incident that happened in the club. Okay, he asked J-Lo to hold his weapon. Okay, Keegan said it hurts when I laugh. WD, you are going in. Nubian Queen, exactly. WD, this will be the question the judge will ask. Tell me what you did wrong and what you did to correct it. Right? Cause here's the thing. I sound like Nesto. Here's the thing, y'all. Here's the thing. He didn't really say what he did wrong. Okay? He really didn't come out and really acknowledge specifically. Okay? Because if Diddy was truly repentant, see, let me just say this. There's a lot of people out here who don't understand the meaning of repentance. A lot of people that don't understand the meaning of repentance, they think repentance is just to say, I'm sorry. Repentance means you do an about face. Okay, you do a 180. And speaking of 180s, you know who did a 180? Goddamn Gina Huynh. Okay, I'm literally like, after I read this letter, I'm literally like, girl, really? Okay, I looked at this letter with my magnifying glass just to make sure that I read it correctly. Y'all, let's get into Gina's letter. Dear Judge Subramanian, I know you are sentencing Sean Combs on Friday, and I have been thinking a lot about it. I saw in the press letters were submitted by many concerning the sentencing. No one asked me or told me to write this letter, but I felt my voice should be heard as I was identified as victim number 3 in the case, even though I didn't come to court. Even though I was so adamant that I didn't want to use a pseudonym, I was going to use my name and I was going to tell it all. Like, y'all thought Tasha K was something, y'all ain't heard nothing yet. Okay. But then I didn't show up. Okay. And then I went missing. And people thought I was missing and they didn't know where I was. Right. And then I said that, you know what, it's too damn far. This is going to be a hardship for me. I'm sorry. She didn't say all that, y'all. I ad-libbed just a little bit. And no, I have not been drinking. I promise you I haven't been drinking. I had a salad like hours ago and my brain is like mush right now. But we're going to keep going because we almost done. No one asked me or told me to write this letter, but I felt my voice should be heard as I was identified as victim number 3 in this case, even though I didn't come to court. And I understand charges that were brought concerning me, including accusations of sex trafficking and prostitution. I cooperated fully with prosecutors. I met with them 3 times. I answered their questions and gave them all the information and evidence I had, including pictures, videos, and text messages from my phone. During those meetings, I felt pressured to feel like a victim. Girl, what you say? You felt pressured to feel like a victim. Well, who pressured you? Who put on the pressure? I felt pressure to feel like a victim. Girl, for real? So you weren't a victim? So all the stuff you told Tasha K was a lie. Because people were saying that she was lying. All the stuff that she said about Diddy making her terminate 2 pregnancies and literally kicking one of the babies out of her and dragging her by her hair. Okay, he did an eye turn on her and grabbed her by her hair and pulled her over the couch and drug her over the couch down the hall, threw her up against the bookshelf. Okay, climbed on top of her and did his business. Yes, I just combined 2 movies. Okay, that was What's Love Got to Do with It in The Color Purple. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, I felt pressured to feel like a victim. I told them I was not, and they insisted that I was, even when I expressed my truth otherwise. I understand they concluded that I have been sex trafficked and involved in forced prostitution. I did not agree with that conclusion. I was not trafficked. I did not engage in prostitution with him or anybody. That would have been my testimony if called to the stand. Girl, what the hell are you talking about if called to the stand? You was called to the stand. You ain't show up. You didn't come. Cassie needed you and you weren't there. Jane needed you and you weren't there. Mia, Capricorn Clark, Cassie's mama. Okay, a whole bunch of other people whose names I can't remember right now. You know, Mia, if I didn't say Mia already, you know, we showed up. Not Wisdom's daughter, I couldn't be there. But they showed up. Bitch, where were you? Where were you? Anyway, that would have been my testimony if I had been called to the stand. I was subpoenaed and fully prepared to testify and answer all questions truthfully, but I was informed by my lawyer that I would not be called to the stand. I want to emphasize that I understand the seriousness of this case and the pain others may feel. I cannot speak for anyone but myself. In terms of sentencing, I kindly ask that you consider releasing him back to his family. What? Huh? What the? Okay. I understand throughout the process he's been cooperative and respectful, including turning himself in. Young lady, he didn't really turn himself in. He was in New York to turn himself in, but they came and got him. Okay. And he was mad because he thought he was going to have one more freak off before he went in. Throughout this process, he has never once reached out to me or made me feel uncomfortable in any way. So I'm not writing this letter because I'm trying to get him to pay my rent like Jane. You know, she got a $10,000 stipend. Like, I'm not writing this letter because I feel some type of way or anything. You know, I'm just saying. You know, if he gets out, he can continue paying my rent. You know, maybe he'll buy me a car. You know, maybe we'll get back together. I don't know. You know, and then I'll just apologize for all the stuff that I said he did to me on Tasha K, because apparently I told a lie, or I told the truth and I'm lying now. But anyway, I believe he will continue to be compliant with the court's conditions upon release. I understand that accountability is important. Okay. And I am not writing this to dismiss the gravity of the charges, nor to criticize anyone. I write to express my perspective as a so-called victim that I am not. I write to express how I felt during the investigation and trial and how I feel now waiting to hear the sentence. I felt compelled to share my own perspective honestly. I respectfully ask that you take my words into consideration when making your decision. Thank you for your time and allowing me to be heard. Exhibit number 83. Gina, if you don't sit your ass down somewhere, okay? If you don't sit your Gina is trying to get bank, okay? She needs some bills paid, okay? Apparently she needs some bills paid. Because she didn't address any of the stuff that she said in Tasha K. Unless you're telling me that he did all that and you was okay with it. Child. When I tell you the foolery of it all, let me check on this poll and then we're going to get back to this video because Gene Deal got a few more things to say before we wrap up. Okay, so why is Diddy so afraid of going to prison? 26% of y'all said because there ain't going to be no baby oil in prison. 16% of y'all say he might get gang banged, all right? 58% said his enemies might take his life and that's really why he's afraid. I agree with y'all. All right, last poll of the night. I'm going to go ahead and end the poll that's up here. All right. So if you didn't cast a vote, cast it really quickly. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and done. All right. Last poll of the evening. This poll has to do with Gina Huynh. I'm going to put this up and then we're going to let the rest of the video play. All right. So, why is Gina, and I didn't know her name was Virginia. Let me spell her name right. Okay. Why is she capping for Diddy? Okay, so we got a couple of options. To get her rent paid, okay, to get back with Diddy, or she's really afraid. She's really that afraid of him. Okay. All righty. Okay, so that's our last poll of the evening. Let's go ahead and get back to this video. I will tell you that Diddy's team put together a whole document. And actually I'm just gonna I'm not gonna read anything, but I just want to show you this document. Okay. So they mentioned the fact that for scheduling purposes, at least 4 members of Diddy's defense team plan to address the honorable court at the sentencing, and they're going to need approximately 15. There will be approximately a 15-minute video, which is being finalized at this time, which will be played for the court. Once the video is in final form, they're going to share it with the same with the prosecution prior to sentencing. So he gets sentenced tomorrow. At what point are you going to share this 15-minute video that y'all putting together? And I hope this is not another apology letter for Diddy. But anyway, they had all of these additional letters. There's a bunch more letters here, okay? From Ho Wen Kwok and Miles Gu. All of these people. The Art of War weighed in. All of these people. I don't know who Ivy is, but she weighed in. Ivy Rivera, okay, Reentry One, all these executives. Listen, the Miami Police Department captain weighed in. Okay, he has something to say. All right. So just like how the prosecution put together a 165-page submission, Diddy's team did the same thing. They put together a submission on his behalf, kind of like a rebuttal, so to speak, which is really interesting. But anyway, let's get back to this video and you guys tell me what you think. Yes, Nubian Queen said, what the? Ooh, yeah. Yes, ma'ams. Yes, ma'ams. Yes, indeed. You cannot make this up. You cannot. Now I know y'all heard these letters about 15 times. I just try to make it interesting for you. All right, let's bring our boy back up. Let's hear back from Gene.
And he gonna look at it and say, yo, why should I help this motherfucker when he talking shit about me? The diddler. I seen them in a meeting together before. Al Sharpton, Wendy Williams, Puff Daddy, and Donald Trump at the Four Seasons Hotel downtown. And I'm sure he was telling them because all this shit is planned, bro. Yo, you know I'm gonna be president one day. I'm gonna need y'all support. But they flipped. You understand what I'm saying? They flipped. Because everybody was dealing with Donald Trump at one time. That was in the music record business and all that stuff like that.
Tell it, Gene.
So my whole thing about it is,
I'm just wondering, Gene, do you have the Epstein files? Cause Trump won't release the files. We want the files. All right, let's move along a little.
Year or more in prison. He hasn't been sentenced yet, and a pardon can only be granted after he enters custody. The process could take over a year, leaving him vulnerable in the meantime. Given his reputation, prison poses serious risks, with many eager to settle scores against him behind bars.
You heard how Trump he spoke on giving Puffy a pardon? You heard what he said about it?
he still would have, if he pardoned Diddy.
Well, he's not. He ain't. I'm just gonna move along a little bit. He ain't gonna pardon him.
I believe he is. I think 50 gonna be right there in his ear. And I think 50 is closer than Trump than Diddy is.
Prosecutors are now pushing for an even harsher sentence. The judge is expected to disregard federal guidelines and impose a term far longer than Diddy anticipated. Since the guidelines don't cap the sentence length, the final decision rests entirely on the judge's judgment of the case.
In early July, Combs was convicted on 2 prostitution-related.
So let's talk about that for a quick second, okay? So this is Judge Subramanian on the right, okay? I want to tell you guys a little bit about this judge. Hold on one second, because I should have been ready and I wasn't ready. Let me give you some information about him, okay? He was born in 1989. I know he looks like he's old, but this man is only 46 years old, okay? You will see him walking the streets of New York with Converse sneakers, with some khakis. He might have on a hoodie, a pullover, sweater, or a nice plaid button down, and a hat, and a backpack, and his earpods, and he looks like he goes to NYU, okay? He is the first American Indian judge appointed in the Southern District of New York, and he was appointed in 2003, I believe. So he's very young. Let me see if I can get some more information on him. Hold on one second, because I'm not finding what I was looking for. Let's see. He so basically, if he was born in 1979, he grew up in the 80s. He knows who Diddy is, okay? He probably grew up listening to Diddy, okay? He was nominated by President Joe Biden and confirmed by the U.S. Senate in 2003, in March of 2003. And so he's fairly new to the Southern District of New York. But again, he is a young judge. And he is a judge that is probably very well versed in rap culture, unlike the prosecution and team. So This is not somebody that Diddy can pull the wool over his eyes. Let me just say that. No, sorry. He was born in 79. I didn't mean to say 89. He was born in 1979. 1979. He's 46 years old. Okay? And he would have grown up listening to Diddy. And so think about it for a second. He rejected Diddy's request for bail. He rejected his request to even have an ankle monitor and stay at home. He's rejected Diddy's every request that Diddy's team has made in terms of him being able to get out. This is what the judge has said. Diddy, you did not prove that you have a valid reason to have to be out of jail. This is basically what he said. Okay? That's basically what he said. She would wait a minute. Sensible said that Gina wants an end of year clearance new car. She want a car. This better not be about a car. What's going on? Ebony was into the chat. So even though he looks older, and let me just show. Can I show y'all this? Let me just show y'all something because he really does look old. This is him on the right. That's him. And yeah, he got a little bit of gray hair. He looks like an old man, but he went to Columbia Law School. He got his JD in 2004. Okay. And yes, I am on Wikipedia. I usually do not use this as a source. But I have previously looked into the sources from Wikipedia. And so this is good information. All right. And I'm mistaken. I said it was in March. It was in April. April of 2023 is when he assumed office. Okay. So he has not been a judge that long, but he's a young judge. Okay. Diddy is not going to pull the wool over his eyes. Okay. He's not going to be able to sway his way or pay his way out of this. This man is very smart. He is very, very smart, and he knows exactly what he's doing. All right, let me switch back. Let me switch back to our little video. All right.
The charges, each carrying a maximum sentence of 10 years. He was found not guilty on the more serious racketeering charges.
Today's a great victory.
After the July verdict, prosecutors initially expected Combs would face a prison term of 4 to 5 years, according to CBS News. However, according to a written submission filed Thursday in a Manhattan federal court, as reported by the Associated Press, the expected sentence is now substantially higher. The submission also opposed Combs' request to be released on a $50 million bail ahead of his October 3rd sentencing. The filing also says Combs must remain in custody until sentencing unless he can prove exceptional circumstances, and according to prosecutors, he cannot. This comes after a previous bail request for $1 million was also denied following the verdict. A federal judge ruled there was no evidence to suggest Combs doesn't pose a danger to others or the community. With these latest developments, Combs will remain in jail until his sentencing on October 3rd.
Diddy trial prosecutors put in an opposition to Diddy's bail request, and the prosecutors say they're actually looking for a more lengthy sentencing than what they originally thought. In this opposition, the prosecution is laying out the fact that the judge already denied Diddy's bail for being a violent person, and they hone in even more into Diddy's alleged violence against people. Prosecutors are saying that Diddy has actually been lying when he said that he didn't commit violence between his breakup with Cassie Ventura in 2018 up until 2024 with his incident with Jane. Let's go ahead and jump right into this motion. The government says despite the court's clear ruling that the defendant must be detained pending sentencing following his conviction on 2 felony counts, the defendant moves again for bail. The defendant's detention pending sentencing is mandatory. There is no exceptional circumstances justifying his release. Even if there were, the defendant cannot demonstrate by clear and convincing evidence that he is not a danger to the community. This court properly denied the defendant's request for bail on July 2nd of 2025, and the defendant has failed to present any reason for the court to reconsider its ruling. The court should deny the defendant's motion on this again on that basis alone, but then they get into listing more reasons. The defendant has failed to meet the strict standard for reconsideration. As an initial matter, the defendant's motion is untimely under Rule 49 because the motion was filed 27 days after the court's July 2nd, 2025 bail determination.
Because Diddy is always a day late and a dollar damn short. A day late and a dollar short, okay? Just like this busted gaslighting letter the night before he's going to be sentenced. Can you imagine what Judge Arun Subramanian is going through? Having to read all these letters. This man can't enjoy his coffee, all right? He can't enjoy, I mean, he probably, you know, want to play the new, I don't know, whatever new PlayStation game is out. Okay, he probably want to play Call of Duty or something like that, you know. But now he got to sit here and read through 1,000 more letters from people filing letters at the last minute. Okay, Young Miami, the inmates, okay, the victims' letters. Then here comes Diddy with his own letter, and Gina Huynh, and the Miami-Dade County captain, and it just goes on and on and on. Why y'all late? So that's what happened. Diddy filed too late. Filed way too late, because he thought that he wasn't going to need to file. He thought his money and his fame was going to get him out, or he would get a pardon. Diddy is really stupid. Is he stupid enough to believe that Donald Trump would be able to pardon him before he was even sentenced? Like, come on now. He thought he was going to get pardoned from a detention center, from county jail.
The defendant fails to meet Rule 49, which is a 14-day deadline. Go on to say that Diddy has failed to show any exceptional reasons why he should be released on bail waiting sentencing.
Diddy's lawyers have filed a fifth bail request, this time offering $50 million. The proposal includes a bond backed by his Miami mansion, surrender of his passport, restricted travel, no phone or internet access, and home detention under private security. Despite these terms, the fear is clear. Diddy dreads what awaits him in prison and would likely flee the moment bail is granted.
Diddy's legal problem. So Diddy's legal team has just filed a motion for bail. They're offering $50 million. They're, basically arguing that it's unfair that he's behind bars, given the nature of his conviction. His attorneys are asking the judge to approve.
No, he was desperate, and he thought that he could buy his way out of jail. Okay, that was the first mistake.
While he waits, for his convictions. Now, the judge, has ordered Diddy to remain in Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center until October 3rd, when his sentencing is set. So, and remember, the judge also, cited during the case that Diddy's admitted violence towards his former lovers, including Cassie. He said, quote, "It's impossible for the defendant to show he possesses no danger to any person." So he said that. So that's the reason he felt that he needed to stay behind bars. So I'm wondering, you know what I mean? If this, if this will still apply to the Sean Diddy Combs case.
What do you guys think Diddy would have done if he had gotten out? What do you guys think Diddy would have done if he had gotten out? I know I said we was going to do one, that this poll up here was going to be the last one. But you know what? I think this needs to be the last poll. So let me go ahead and give you the poll results. Why is, and there's a typo, why is Gina Huynh capping for Diddy? 23% of y'all said because she wants to get back with him. 23% says she's really afraid of him. And 54% says she's trying to get her bills paid. All right. Thank y'all so much for voting. If you didn't get to vote in this poll, we got one more. It's the last poll of the night. I promise. All right. What would Diddy have done if he had gotten out on bail? Okay. Or I should say if he had bonded out, right? If Diddy had bonded out, what would he have done? Okay. Would he have fled the country? Would he have held more freak-offs with even more baby oil? No, I can't fit that. Anyway, held more freak-offs, fled the country, held more freak-offs. Okay, or I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. Would he have walked the straight and narrow? All right. Let's say, would he have kept a low profile? Kept a low profile. Let's see if I can write Steve out trouble. Okay. So there we go. So you got three options, all right? What would Diddy have done if he had gotten out of jail? If he could have gotten out on bail, would he have fled the country? Would he have just held more freak offs, or would he have kept a low profile, right? Would he have kept his nose clean and just laid low? All right, y'all tell me what you think, and we're gonna finish out this video.
We may learn this week if he will be released on bond while he awaits sentencing. His lawyers filed a request asking the judge to release Combs on $50 million bond.
I mean, this man did everything he possibly could to get out of jail, and nothing worked. You know what that sounds like? That sounds like Nesto, Ernest Williams. Tried everything.
And racketeering conspiracy. The government is expected to respond by this Thursday. Combs' sentencing is scheduled for October.
Judge Aaron ruled that Diddy is a flight risk and, given his history of violence, cannot be released on bail regardless of the amount offered. Cassie's lawyer and her associate Deontay Nash both submitted statements urging the court to reject bail. The concern is clear. If released, Diddy would target those who testified against him, leaving Cassie in serious danger should he secure bail or a pardon.
Let's see what's going to happen with this Diddy trial. Federal prosecutors are now responding to Diddy trying to get out, right, while he's waiting to get sentenced. And so basically what prosecutors are saying is that they believe that his response, that his crimes reflect aggravating, not mitigating factors, and they want to justify his continued incarceration. Diddy had said that he's just a John. He's not the one that participated in having...
Oh my God, that's his argument. I'm just a John. And you know what, June's poetry, that's a really good point. I can't do the poll over, all right? But those of you who think he would have tampered with witnesses, that's a good one. That should have been the fourth option. So even if you voted already, if you think that he would have, that's called obstruction of justice. If he would have tried to intimidate witnesses and victims, just throw it up in the chat. If you think Diddy would have intimidated witnesses when he got out on bail, let me know. And thank you, June's poetry. That was a good one. That was a really good one. I should have made that the fourth option. All right.
sex with these male escorts. He only watched.
Right.
And his ex-girlfriends are the ones that had sex. Well, they said that ignores the fact that he transported individuals for the purpose of prostitution on hundreds of occasions over the course of decades. And they also said he did ply Cassie and Jane Doe with drugs to make sure they would participate in marathon freak-off sessions while victimizing them through his violent outbursts. So they said he should not be released on a $50 million bond.
And see, he didn't talk about none of that in his repentance letter. None of it. Okay? He didn't talk about the fact that, you know, he forced pills and stuff down these women's throats so that he could get what he wanted, you know. He didn't talk about the fact that he whatever he wanted, he had to get, and that was his issue and his problem. Okay. He didn't talk about the years-long patterns of violence. Okay. He didn't talk about the 10 years. You talking about since the 90s he's been doing stuff. Now, he didn't admit to any of those things. Right? All he basically said is, I'm sorry. And please, please give me another chance. You know, I know you want to make an example out of me, but let me be an example of what happens when you give someone another chance. Hell no. No.
Janice Combs, his sister Keisha Combs, and Sarah Chapman, the mother of Combs' eldest daughter, Chance Combs, and have no access to his private plane, which is
Okay, so Chance is the daughter, because I don't know why I thought Chance was his son. I'm tired, y'all.
currently grounded in Maui. He also agreed to surrender his passport, undergo drug testing, and restrict travel to areas of New York, Florida, and California as necessary to attend court and meet with lawyers.
And have free coast on the side.
To have the entire case dismissed. Their argument is that since Diddy never directly took part in the events and only observed from the sidelines, he cannot be convicted. However, Diddy was the one orchestrating and directing everything, which makes the claim hollow. His role as organizer leaves little doubt of his guilt.
Sure. So the Mann Act was passed in 1910, and it's changed a few times through the years. But really what it's geared at, what it's focused on, is prosecuting people who make money from the business of prostitution. And that's not the allegation against Mr. Combs. The allegation of Mr. Combs, what the jury found, essentially was that he was a user of services provided by workers, you know, essentially a John, for lack of a better word. And the Mann Act just historically hasn't been applied to Johns. It's a financial statute. It's really been applied at people who look to make money from prostitution. And so,
Well, guess what, sir? It's a new dawn. It's a new day. All right. Listen. Yesterday's price is not today's price. Yesterday's over with. So this has been their whole argument that the Mann Act wasn't applied appropriately, but as he said, it's been applied in many different forms.
So since that's not how it's being applied here, we made the argument that we have to, under the case law and the statutes in this area, that this is an exceptional reason, and that Mr. Combs should be considered for release on bail because of it.
Well,
so because he didn't make a profit off of the SMEX workers, he should get out on bail? I ain't a pimp, Judge. I'm just a John. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't making no money off of it. Wow. Let me check on this poll real quick. All right. So far, 67% of you believe he would have fled the country. And you know what? I think the judge believes the exact same doggone thing. I believe the judge thinks the exact same thing, that he would have fled the country. Okay. And then maybe potentially he might have tried to, but if he fled the country, there would have been no need to intimidate witnesses because he's out of the country. So technically it will be very difficult for them to get him at that point.
Diddy is upping his offer to the government. He wants out of jail right now. You know that he is still behind bars at Brooklyn MDC while he is awaiting his sentence in October. But right after he was sentenced, they tried to get out on bail. They made an offer. They said, we'd like for him to be released on $1 million bail. The judge shut that down. So now it's like he's playing let's make a deal, right? How about this, Your Honor? What if we offer a $50 million bail package? The money has gone up, but the reason that he thinks he should get out is because he says what he's convicted of were nonviolent offenses.
And he's right. He's right that he was convicted on 2 counts of the Mann Act. The Mann Act is hiring a prostitute and taking the prostitute across state lines. It's a nonviolent crime.
A new lawsuit has...
Now, here's the thing. So you heard what was said, right? That was the reason. These are not violent crimes. All I did was, hire some escorts, and take them across state lines. So how do we go from that? I ain't really do anything. I mean, what I did wasn't really that bad. To this whole letter of, I've been changed, right? I know I've been changed. Okay. I know I've been changed. How do we go from that posture of I ain't really doing anything, it wasn't even that serious, Judge, you should let me out. I mean, damn, I'm offering $50 million, to please give me one more chance. Your Honor, give me one more chance. Diddy, you full of shit.
Intensified Diddy's troubles, this time implicating both him and his son Justin Combs. The suit alleges that in 2017, a woman was lured to Los Angeles with the promise of a job, only to be held captive for a weekend and subjected to repeated assaults.
The self-proclaimed bad boy for life, Sean Combs, is facing a series of new allegations of sexual abuse and sexual assault tonight. At least 6 people filed civil lawsuits against him in federal court in New York today. I think the biggest headline from here is that one of these alleged victims was a minor. That's serious.
Very serious, and I agree with you, Elizabeth. Obviously, it changes the game. This is just a civil lawsuit, but if that works its way into the federal criminal indictment, if there is indeed a superseding indictment, that changes the game in 2 ways. One, of course, there's a mandatory minimum and very serious sentences for trafficked minors, but importantly, it really gets around one of Combs' defense, that is that the...
So, the diddler. You know what? I'm wondering now, what happened with all those other cases? What happened with all those other cases? Kia said, WD, you need to drop a gospel album, my God. No, I'm just playing over here. And sorry about the clear in my throat. I got water here, but it ain't working. I didn't make my bougie water today. I didn't put any lemon in it, but I'm gonna make some tea in a minute. His money would help him flee the country, absolutely, because $50 million ain't nothing. He didn't say, "Well, Judge, freeze my accounts," right? He said, "I'm gonna offer you $50 million." But even if he offered to have the banks freeze his accounts, I still don't think the judge would have done it. Still don't think he would have done it. So Diddy is a day late and a dollar short. He ain't sleeping tonight. Okay. He's not, even if he tried to sleep, he's not going to be able to. Okay. He's probably rolling over left to right, you know, biting on his knuckles, crying, you know, about to take a nervous number 2. And he went literally from, you should let me out on bond because the charges weren't really that serious, to begging and pleading, talking about he's a changed man. I taught a class and I've been redeemed. I once was blind, but now I see. Please, please, Your Honor, don't sentence me. Let me go back home to my family. Anyway, y'all, so that is Wisdom's daughter's reaction to the Diddy situation. And I'm gonna be standing by. So for those of you who wanted to know, yes, I will be covering the Dana J and infamous Sylvia case tomorrow. So I'll be in court in the morning. I'm not sure what's going to happen because I heard through the grapevine that her lawyer asked for another continuance. I really don't understand why they keep asking for continuance after continuance. Last time they claimed that they needed more time to get ready. Well, how much time do you need? I mean, the case is this is not a Diddy case. How much time do you need? So we shall see. I don't know if you know the rumors are true that she has not been paying this lawyer. But she should have made some money off the Diddy trial. So I said should. I don't know that. I don't know her business, but I said she should have made some money off the Diddy trial. You know, because she was all but wearing Free Diddy t-shirts and out there chanting Free Diddy. So should have made some money. So I don't know. But I will update you guys tomorrow and let you know what's going on. And I will let you know what had happened was. So make sure you tune in. If you are not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do that now. If you didn't hit the like button on the way in, make sure you hit that like button on the way out. Y'all know how this goes, good people. Be safe, be at peace, and keep your eyes and your ears to these YouTube streets, baby. And I will see you on the next one. Bye, y'all.